So today, we have in studio to talk about these things Dr. Richard Glass, the principal and lead instructor of CICS Boys Lab. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well.
Yeah, you guys have a great program going on over here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For you guys that are not fully aware of what's happening, man, it's an educational program and it's dedicated to serve boys and young men of color, which is a very unique program. And through the program, they will be empowered to close what people call the artificial achievement gap through positive relationships amongst their peers and teachers within a safe, joyful, engaging learning community. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I like the words that we use to describe that: safe, joyful, and engaging learning community. Very important.
It is important. So Boys Lab was created especially for boys. We're starting with fourth grade because ironically, in 1982, it was 36 years ago, Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu wrote a book. It was called kind of the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys.
Gotcha.
And 36 years later, we're still dealing with the same issue in 2018. So this particular program was developed specifically for boys to have a place to be lifted up, to be empowered, and a place that is for them.
Yeah.
It's serving them. It is not asking them to conform to what the school wants.
Right. The school was there to serve the boys.
Exactly.
It's not asking the boys to change to whatever the school was doing.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this question. Why should a parent choose CICS Boys Lab for their child?
Well, I think for that very reason, because it's a place where boys will be the focus. They're the stars of the show, if you will. They will inform what happens day to day. Their feedback actually will inform me as to what I should do the next day, if I should change something, add something, subtract something. And that's not normally the case. Normally when boys don't do exactly what they're expected to do, they're labeled as being deficient or defective in some way. In this case, I will have to, if something is not going well, I'll have to check myself and see what I need to do differently. And I think that's a very different viewpoint, for education, and I think that it would be the first time that parents would have that option.
Understood. So with that being said, I mean, obviously that's one point, but what else would you say, what's unique about the school?
Well, what's unique is that we start and end our day with a circle. So there's a guy who wrote a book. It's called For White Folks Who Teach in the Hood, and for all y'all, all the rest of y'all too. His name is Dr. Chris Emden, and he's a professor at Columbia. He talks about, if you can't tell no story, you can't teach no lesson. And that's something that struck me when I heard him say that. And that's very, very true. If children don't believe in you, if they don't trust you, if they don't believe that you love them, they can't receive from you. So what's unique about this particular classroom, which will hopefully lead to a school one day, is that they are the stars. They guide the day-to-day activities, and it's all about them. Yeah. It's all about them. So what's also unique about it is that we'll loop together for 3 years. So they start in fourth grade, and we go through 3 years together. So they'll be fourth, fifth, and sixth grade with me. And then we're already thinking about what to do with them seventh and eighth grade. So we're thinking about training another teacher who will take them seventh and eighth grade. And then our goal is to have each and every one of them access our most selective high schools in Chicago.
Okay, that sounds good. So obviously you guys are trying to put these young men on the path to excellence, right?
Absolutely.
So what does excellence for every child every day look like at CICS Boys Lab?
Very high expectations for academics and for behavior. We don't have time for off-task behaviors. We'll always be focused on our core, but we'll also always be attending to the spirit of the boys also. So high quality instructional materials. We have the most highly rated reading and math programs that you can find in America. Not dumbing things down, making sure that they're challenged each and every day, that they're thinking critically every day, and that they're solving problems every day. They're applying their learning to different things that are going wrong in this country. So what we want to actually do is have them become social activists through their learning. One of the things that we'll also do is travel. So I believe that learning takes place outside of the classroom as much as it takes place inside of the classroom. So each spring break we go afar to travel. So we're going to Washington, D.C. to learn about how Africans came to America. We're going to New York the next year to really dig down into what happened with the Harlem Renaissance, because we'll be studying poetry in class. And then the third year we're going to Puerto Rico, because we'll actually, in our English language arts curriculum, we study how natural disasters can impact the community. So Puerto Rico is definitely being impacted and still will be recovering from the hurricane, even then when they're in sixth grade.
You mentioned a lot of good things. You said a lot of good things today. For all the parents that are listening right now, CICS Boys Lab is now accepting applications for 4th grade boys. Visit chicagointl.org and choose Boys Lab under the campus tab, chicagointl.org, correct?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, okay. And I want to thank you for joining us today. Once again, Dr. Richard Glass, principal, and of course the lead instructor of CICS Boys Lab. Thank you for making a difference in our young men of color in Chicago. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
My man.